Hi, I'm Randy Hollenbeck, and this is the Music Roundtable. Today on the show, we're alt pop rock band Poe The Passenger.
What's up?
Hey,
Hey.
I've got that shine that makes all diamonds look dull. So put your shades on and I'll show you the ropes. You know, my brand new stride says that I know where to go, but I never get tired of it. I order takeout when I sit on my throne. I make this $20 haircut look dope. I know I'll take the high road in my old Accord, but I'll take the free parking. It's not your chain or your wallet, it's not the jeans you've been rocking, it's how you treat everybody on your way to the top. We play the same games, but maybe I always win. You call me crazy, cause maybe I'll never quit. They try to take me, but you know I'll break out of it. Cause I know, you love it when I lose control.
If you can introduce yourself and what instrument you play.
Trent, you go first.
yeah, I'm Trent. I play the bongos.
He also dabbles in the drums, and I'm Jeff, and I play guitar and sing. Whether I do that very well is up to you.
I wanted to dig in a little bit of history. Can you tell me what age you got into music and what actually got you into music? Was it like a band or a song or?
Actually, on my first ultrasound, I was holding a tambourine, so I've kind of just been doing it ever since the womb. No, we all was funny enough. I think the majority of us all were like sports kids. Well, not I wasn't like multi sports, but I played baseball, and I know Trent played baseball as well. And I think Matt was also in baseball. I don't know about Kenny, but we're gonna get to him later. And at some point, I transitioned from doing that. I always had an affinity for music. My older brother introduced me to some amazing bands like 30 Seconds to Mars, Panic at the Disco, Green Day, all these bands that I loved, early Maroon 5. And I just remember going to like the FYE or whatever store that sold the CDs on Fridays when albums were dropped. And that just like made my whole week was meeting up with my brother on Friday. So that's where I developed my love for music. And around, I want to say 13, 14 is when I first picked up a guitar. I studied the blues in Chicago under Mark Wydra, who played with all kinds of amazing blues musicians. And that really, I learned out of the Mel Bay book, and that's where my affinity for playing music started. And then I was in a bunch of shitty bands. And now I'm in a half decent band. So, how about you, Trent?
Yeah, I got started playing drums around 14. I've always wanted to play the drums for some reason. I watched a lot of music videos growing up on MTV and Fuse, and for some reason, rather, the drums just always looked the coolest aesthetically. And so I was begging my parents to get a drum set, and I eventually made a deal with my mom because I got a B in PE. She told me that if I ran a mile faster than 8 minutes, that she'd buy me a drum set, and I ran it in like 7:40 that year. I was an athletic kid. I don't know why I was running so slow. I think I just wasn't putting enough effort. But yeah, she got me the first drum set. I played every day. Every day I was terrible. Joined a couple terrible bands, some cover bands. Um, Played a lot of local shows here and there, and yeah, just the rest is history. Just kept playing it all the time, every day, and eventually found Jeff and Matt and formed Poe the Passenger.
Boom.
Can you tell me some of your musical influences?
Well, you keep going. Ride
Yeah,
the
no,
train,
just
bro.
real quick. I think you asked that earlier, but Thrice, huge reason why I play music. Other bands in that kind of similar genres like Under Oath, Circus Survive, The Deer Hunter, Receiving End of Sirens, they all just kind of spoke to me. And I love that music, and I still do today. It's just edgy and different and weird at times. And that's kind of what I look for in music.
Yeah, I definitely some of the bands that I mentioned earlier. I grew up on the alternative pop rock scene, so Green Day, Fall Out Boy, Panic at the Disco, 30 Seconds to Mars. I always loved the idea of big anthemic electric sounding bands that had killer energy on stage. Um, and then, they say that your musical influences and interests kind of happen when you're 13 and then they stay that way for the rest of your life. But I've kind of had this revolving door of being influenced by people, especially because I'm, a musician now. And somebody that really inspires me is the songwriter, producer, and artist John Bellion. And he writes a lot of really famous pop songs, but not a lot of people know who he is. And I just think that his approach to songwriting, his tenacity, and everything that he puts in and onto a record is just so raw, and his energy is incredible. So I wish I knew about him when I was younger, but I'm glad I found him now.
Can you tell me how the band formed?
This is a good question. So it started in the womb. No,
You gotta stop doing that. I met Jeff at a concert, and I met Matt at school. He just like came up to me one day and he's like, "Dude, you play drums?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I play bass." And then he's like, "We should jam." And I was like, "All right, yeah, we'll put some time down." And he's like, "What are you doing right now?" It's like, "Not much, actually." So he just rented us a room, and essentially the first day I met Matt, within the hour, we were already playing music. And so what better of a beginnings to have than that? And Matt wasn't in the band from the very, very start, but he's always had an affinity for playing bass and music. And so it was just a no brainer when we were looking for a bassist to bring Matt on. And honestly, we talk about when the band really started. And I think it really started when Matt joined, or shortly after, is our sound began to take shape and we were just more structured.
Yeah, absolutely. When our friendship, the three of us, me, Matt, and Trent, started, I think is really the foundation of the band. But funny enough, me and Trent met for the first time at a Bernie Sanders, like not
Support
fundraiser. It was
event?
like a support event at this little watering hole called the Roar Room in La Crescenta, and we used to both frequent it, and we never ran into each other until that night. And there was music, and Trent was doing comedy, and it was just a weird, fun, crazy night.
How did you come up with the band name?
This is a good one. Band names are tough. When you start something, you want it to mean something, and you don't want it to be stupid that you look back on and you're like, why the heck did we do that?
Hoobastank.
Yeah, Hoobastank. I had a revolving list of band names because I was playing in more of like an acoustic kind of duo/trio for a while, and I just couldn't find the right band name. And I was introduced to Edgar Allan Poe's poetry around that time because I found out that my dad was a big fan of his and had a lot of his old collections of poetry. And my dad unfortunately passed away when I was really little. And so kind of a way when I got into my 20s to like kind of reconnect with just who he might have been as a person, I started reading through some of these old Edgar Allan Poe poetry books. And stuffed in some of the pages, I found poems that my dad had even written. And I don't know, I was just kind of inspired by that. And I stumbled upon Edgar Allan Poe has a passage that talks about being a passenger in life. And something about just reading that and being around the name Edgar Allan Poe, I just put two and two together and I added it to the list. And I kept trying to beat Poe the Passenger as a name for the band, and I couldn't because it was so unique and nobody else had it. And I shared it with some people, and they're like, "Oh, that's a great name. It's so unique, and you can't forget it because it's just so. It's kind of strange, but it's also, you know. Plus, my last name's Jeff Pridgeon, so it's like Jeff Pridgeon and Poe the Passenger. It's like an alliteration. So it was just a shoe in.
Side note: his dad kind of looks like Edgar Allan Poe.
We got to superimpose a photo of my dad and Edgar Allan Poe. They do look like twins. It's crazy. Fluffy hair and a black mustache.
What city is your band based out of?
But yeah, we're in LA.
I wanted to dig in a couple of your songs. Lose Control, it came out June 2022, and you have a line in that song, it's how you treat everybody on your way to the top. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Should we talk about that? Absolutely. Trent actually has like a great kind of description for this song, and I think he really encapsulates it. So why don't you take it away?
All right. So when we wrote this song, we thought it'd be interesting to write a song about having humble confidence. And I know it's like kind of a fine line between being cocky and being confident. And the lyrics are kind of towing the line in between and, making sure that you could make it to where you're going without kicking people down. It's about bringing people up. And we hadn't really heard a song talk about that topic before. So we thought, it'd be interesting to write a song about that.
Yeah. And it's great because, I don't know, it brings something out of us when we play it live because we're all very sarcastic and we're not very braggadocious. So to play a song that's like kind of braggadocious but humble and sarcastic at the same time, and it's kind of making fun of itself, it just really is like such a treat to play live and so much energy. So we have if you ever see clips of us playing that, we're always like rocking out at 11,
My humble roots were planted when I was young. Our family was built on trust, not by buns. Baby, I love when haters all get stuck in the mud and they never get out of it. It's not your chain or your wallet, it's not the jeans you've been rocking, it's how you treat everybody on your way to the top. We play the same games, but baby I always win. You call me crazy, cause baby I'll never quit. They try to take me, but you won't break out of it. Cause I know you love it when I lose control.
There's another song. It's called Cold California. You guys are about to release that. It has one of those sing-along choruses. Who knew California could be so cold? It's kind of like the love and hate relationship with California is what I got from it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That came
You
about.
nailed it.
Yeah,
Yes.
you nailed it. There's a double entendre there because obviously not a lot of people know that California is a desert climate. So there are times where it can get just like super frigid, and a lot of times people move here for my instance or my experience rather. I don't know why I had a brain aneurysm just now. Sorry, I moved here from Chicago, and I had big hopes and dreams. I did the whole thing where I went down to Hollywood Boulevard and I checked it out, and it just totally like blew my mind how different it is than what it's, because you think it's something when you watch these movies or see interviews and stuff, and it's totally something different. Not to say that it's bad, it's just different because nothing can live up to your expectations. Anyways, and you come to find out that you really have to make it on your own here, and you can develop friendships and stuff like that, but you got to watch out because there are people that are trying to take advantage of you or will blow smoke and mirror or blow smoke up your ass or whatever they say, and everything's smoke and mirrors. So it was kind of the song was about a realization of that frigid climate, as well as somebody could give you the cold shoulder here in Los Angeles. So we wanted to talk about that. Again, sarcastic anthem, super explosive and fun. At the end we do the lighter thing, and it seemed to people like that. The lights on the phones. It's a lot of fun.
Every day it feels just like Nirvana. Even though the 405 is trash, I might just lay down by the water, cause I spend my rent money on gas. But I know that these days I'll just take or leave it, waste our lives in traffic or live in my car. Sucks. Tell somebody you're sorry, throw your worries to the sea. Who knew California could be so cold? On the surface we're alright, Hollywood is still on fire. Who knew California could be so cold?
What do you guys got planned for the rest of 2022?
Global domination.
Just the world takeover.
Yeah, no, we got this huge album release show coming up on September 2nd. So all our sites are focused on that, making it the best show possible. we're going to be rolling out a new song, new single that isn't on this album upcoming, but it's been in the works for some time. So we're excited to play that. We got a new cover that we're playing. We got a new light setup and some merch coming in. So a lot of new stuff coming to that show. And then afterwards, we're looking to go on tour again, hit the road. We love seeing new cities. We love meeting new people. And so that's definitely going to be the focus for the rest of the year.
Yeah, we had a great time touring the states of the West, and we just want to keep moving our way east. So definitely at some point in 2022, we're going to play a little bit more of a broad spectrum U.S. domestic type tour, hopefully in support of another artist. We've got some great friends in the space, and once again, we're releasing our debut album called Alinea, and it comes out August 29th on Monday. And we're just super stoked about it. And then our big album release show is on September 2nd at the Peppermint Club in Los Angeles, and it's our first event hosted by Live Nation, so that's huge for us. And basically just meeting and cultivating more relationships with our supporters. We like to call them Poe Fam on Instagram and TikTok. So if you're out there and you want to join the music community, check us out at Poe The Passenger on TikTok and Instagram. We're out here.
Are you available on Facebook and Twitter and all those? Where can we get a hold of you there?
Sure. We're most active on Instagram and TikTok. So if you like seeing people make fools of themselves, go to TikTok because there's a lot of videos of me doing that. We answer pretty much every DM that we get on Instagram, and we are active on Facebook and Twitter, but definitely if you're on Instagram and TikTok, that's the best way to get a hold of us. But you can check us out on Facebook. And if you want to know anything more about the band, we have all kinds of information, exclusive merchandise, and listening at our website, poethepassenger.com.
That's all the questions I have. Thanks for coming on the show today. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Yeah, we're doing we're going to be performing in the metaverse tomorrow. I'm still trying to wrap my head around that one, but I just saw a preview of it. It's going to be great. Jeff, you want to give him some more info on that?
Yeah, absolutely. So it's kind of crazy. So it's a virtual reality. You can log in on your phone or on a desktop. We have the links available for that. I think we'll send it to you, Randy, if you want to share it with anybody in your community. It's totally free. All you have to do is sign up and make a password, and then you choose an avatar. So you walk around in the avatar, third person or in first person, and you can check out banners that take you to exclusive merchandise. There's QR codes to pre-save the album, and you're going to be seeing exclusive videos as well, playing in this big virtual stage. It's called the Kingdom, and they host all kinds of events there. But yeah, I mean, it can take like 100 people virtually, and we're going to be in there. We're going to be doing 2 exclusive interviews. We're going to do an exclusive acoustic set, and we're going to be playing exclusive behind-the-scenes footage of the creation of the album. And it'll be the first time that anybody listens to the album because it doesn't come out for a few more days. So if you want to share that with your community, we'll happily send you those links. And whenever this interview is airing, we can share that link with those people then. But it's super cool. It looks like The Sims. It's totally mind-blowing. But we're doing that tomorrow, Sunday the 28th, and it's going to last from 1 p.m. PDT to 5:30 PDT.
Sometimes I wish I knew this from the start.